Like this, we can individually deal with them. Now, initially here, how we can destruct? So simple. Suppose I am creating LET products. It is a string type array. So it contains TV and it contains mobile. And I need to access, suppose it is some Samsung TV, okay, and some MI mobile like this, okay. Now I am creating two variables, LET. Destruction is a technique where you can configure the references in a square brace. I am configuring TV is one reference, comma, another one mobile is another reference, and is equal to, into that we are passing the products array. That's destruction. This is the technique of destruction. That means in this products array, actually, in the products array, whatever the values are present, in the products array, whatever the values are present, in the products array, whatever the values are present, these are configured into this location. This is the 0 and this is the 1. Right. That means the reference will be stored in those locations. So this is what generally we call destruction. So the 0 and 1 values are stored into that reference. That is destruction. That means now when I am trying to print console.log. So here I will use TV is equal to dollar the value in TV reference, and observe carefully here, this TV is a string type. The data type will be determined automatically according to the array you have assigned, and the /n in the next line, /n for next line, and we have mobile. So mobile is equal to, so dollar, here I said mobile. Now let's save this and run this. This is destruction of array. So that means whatever the values present in an array, they can be separated individually, can be stored in a variable reference, and the array elements can be individually handled. So node array demo.ts. So here we are compiling tsc array demo.ts and node array demo.js, and you can see the values are working fine. That means we are destructing an array and we are reading the values from an array, and we are storing the values in a specific reference. Earlier, without destruction technique, we need to deal like this. Without destruction technique, we have to write like this. Now with the destruction technique, in a single line you can configure. So with the destruction, so by using destruction technique, using destruction technique, we can manage like this. We can manage like this. This is how we can configure. That's how we can configure options. So if I have to deal the same, that means suppose this is products and it is a string type array and it is having two values like Samsung TV and MI mobile like this. In that case, here I say TV, it is a string type. Individually, I need to configure. And this is mobile, that is also a string type. We need to configure as a string and we need to access them. Now, instead of doing this, now we are using another technique. This is destruction technique. So array destruction. So while dealing with array, if you want to individually separate the elements from an array and you want to individually manipulate those elements, then we can use this destruction technique. So many other options are also there, which you will understand now. Means several other functions are there, you will understand now. So this is one important point. After learning how to store values into an array, the next part is how we can destruct an array. That is destruction. Another important is how we can reading values from an array. So what are the various methods of reading values from an array? Various techniques of reading values from an array. After creating an array, in order to read the values from an array, we have few important methods. Array manipulation requires a lot of methods, and so many methods are provided for array manipulation. Some important methods we are going to discuss now, because when we are dealing with data in our Angular applications, those methods are very regularly used. So how we can read the values from an array? To read the values from an array, there are so many functions. What are the functions for reading values from an array? So you can use the functions like functions. I will tell you about those functions. Function and description. So what are the functions available to read values from an array? Let's see. So reading values from an array, and these are the functions we have. The first important is we can use toString. So we can use join. We can use find, and we can use filter. So in order to read the values from an array, you have four important options. One is toString, another join, find, and filter. You can use for in operator, or you can use for off operator. By using for in, for off operators, we can read the values from an array, whatever the values present in an array. Or actually, for in and for off are called iterators. For in, for off are called iterator. And for is called as, only for is called as loop. Generally, you know the difference between a loop and an iterator. In computer programming, iterator is a design pattern, which is the technique of reading elements from a collection in sequential order. Reading elements from